Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
Bror Fredrik, let me clear my throat. Let me drink some Pellegrino. Take two. Bror Fredrik coming at you with another studio live. And it's Friday, so you know what time it is. It is Ask Me Anything time. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to say hello to some people, check some messages, see what's going on out there. And before I do that, I'm going to say, Bror Fredrik coming at you live. Already said that, but now I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. And if you'd like to support the channel, especially while I'm live, you can drop a super chat in there. And you can click on any of the links down there. Don't forget, let's pop up these real quick. Don't forget our channel partner, Olight, for the best damn flashlights, knives, EDC gear known to man. Link in the description, 10% off if you use my coupon code. If you don't, do it. And let's not also forget Tej Hanley for the best damn men's facial care known to man. I use it, and you should too. Link in the description, 30% off. Alright, now that we got that all out of the way, let's see what's going on here. How does the mic sound? I'm going to get it all up close in my grill. Hopefully not in your grill. Let's see how that looks. Alright, that's not too bad. I want to get all close and intimate. I don't want you to miss a single thing. Alright, how does that sound? Because it is Ask Me Anything Day, Friday. I like doing it on Friday. It's a good, relaxing way to end the week. I think that sounds good, huh? All right, let's see. Actually, I'm even going to slide up a little closer to the camera. I'm looking a little purple today. I adjusted one of the lights. It's got a little purple tint to it. I might have to fix that. 5x5. All right, it's sounding good. All right, let's say hello to a few people. What do we got? 69 people on. Less than 7 minutes and you still can't decide what question to ask. You could ask me anything. So let me say hello to our mods first. Let's say hello to Mary, Janice, Venus. Holding down the mod situation. Let's see. And we have Mary, Marie Bell, Tom Mack, Sony, Jim Wolf. Keep them coming, come on. I'm ready for you. I'm itching to go. N90, Sylvia, Chris Nat, and Frank. Hey, Frank. What's going on? I dig it. I absolutely love it. Tom Mack, did you get the twofer today? I think so. Whenever I lose track, someone gets a twofer. All right, let's keep it going and say hello to Angie, Chanel for Shell, Kyle. Okay, everyone's packing in. Okay. CW3. Tony Mitz, what's going on? Keith Bubba. All right, we got 80 people on. All right, good. I think I said hello to just about anyone. You do have to be a subscriber in order to get into the chat and in order to ask me a question. I think I'm going to make you wait a whole 15 minutes. We'll see what's going on. Beach Java. I didn't get that You said you sent me another email. I never got that, so I don't know what that's all about, but I'm sure we will figure it out. Anthony Wrench from Warrington, UK. How much are Kylie Minogue tickets? I don't know. Never even heard of her. Is that bad? You know what? Ask me that again later, because I got Google set up for all the tough shit that you might ask me. I'm prepared today. I'm kind of excited. So let's see who else is here. I think I'm just about caught up. Daniel Burke is in the house. Lori. Yvonne, you like the lighting? It's like I said, I feel a little purple today. I changed it like 2 minutes before I hit the go live button. But I got a new, in the background there, you can see an orange light. I mean, a yellow light. There used to be a pink one back there. I thought it was too much pink. I wanted to introduce a different color. I like changing shit up. But it turned me pink. I mean, I'm Scandinavian, but ain't pink. That's for sure. Joseph Q, Franklin Campos, happy Friday. Abso-frickin-lutely. OU 812 Reefing. I still get a kick out of that. Sean. Laren's in the house. How are you doing? You like my shirt today? All right, cool. It's a little different, you know. It's a little, I don't know, it's kind of laid backish. I don't want to get too up in your grill. You're digging the mic? I moved the camera in a little bit closer, and I took out some of the distractions in the background. So we'll see. I like mixing things up, and then, like, I come on, I see what happens. I see what it looks like later. But anyway, today is Friday, and I know everyone's like, oh, it's storming outside. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't have used troll voice for that. Yeah, it rained. I was up early this morning. I was up like 5:05, I think I set my alarm for, so that put me out of bed at like post-snooze, 5:11. So yeah, I was on doing stuff or whatever. Took care of a bunch of business. It was it was pouring, like pouring cats and dogs. I had to run out to the car. Like, look at this now. Check it out. Boop, 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 boop. This is like the fourth one I got. Flash flood warning in effect in this area until 9:30 p.m. PDT. This is a dangerous and life-threatening situation. Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding or under an evacuation order. Frickin' yikes. Under an evacuation order? That is absolutely crazy. Okay. I want to go and touch that light so bad. But today I'll just deal with it. All right, we got 100 people on. Tomorrow we will go out in it. Tomorrow, yeah, it's Friday. It's Saturday night, so I like going out to the strip on Saturday nights. I'm going to maintain that in spite of a few other changes that the channel's going to do. Made a video on that. That'll probably come out tomorrow or Sunday. But Saturday night, we will go out there. I'm sure there's tons of flooding for us to see. Saw some pictures today, and it was pretty substantial because, you know, we have no drains. So everything runs to the lowest point, well, the second lowest point, which is the Link Garage. You know, you see that gully, and, you know, we looked at that last time. We'll go check it out tomorrow. Not sure whether I want to do it at, like, late afternoon or into the evening. I'll let you guys decide. So let me know in the comments after you see this video, or let me know now. I'll either do it, like, 5:36 so we can actually see what we're walking in. I'll bring my galoshes, or we can do it I don't know, like 8:30, something like that. We'll see. I don't know. I think it'd be cool during the day to actually see it. It's supposed to keep raining. It is nice. I mean, it's humid, but it is nice out. I have the AC set on 70, and it really isn't kicking on and off because outside it's like 73, so it's kind of cool. All right, I got my coffee ready. Pellegrino activities ready. Let me set that up here. I got my coffee warmer. Let me move my coffee warmer. a little closer. Did you hear that lightning? I was afraid we might have a power outage. Not again, but I was afraid we'd have a power outage and this would not be possible. Got a little nervous like 4 o'clock, but so far so good. So if suddenly, poof, I'm gone, it was a power outage. Coffee in the house. Yeah, I saw that. It flooded at the Bellagio. Early for the visuals. Hope the slots loosen up in December. I don't know. I think they might even be getting tighter. I mean, people were in town. Broad Nation people were in town, and all reports have been tighter than a snake's ass. I mean, like, not even fun to play, unfortunately. Watching another YouTuber slogging around in it. Yeah, that's cool. Say hello. Sean. John O's here for 20 minutes. Uh-oh. Can confirm. All right. Did I catch up with everyone? Oh, and Natalie. Happy birthday. Love you. Okay. All right. So are you ready? I think there's enough people in here. Phyllis says she loves the studio. Thank you very much. I love being here with you. It's like having 124 friends over. Don't forget to tip the valet. All right, are we caught up? Only the top of my head looks purple? Yeah, I know, that's weird. I toned down one of the lights that was in that corner because it was giving me like a shine off my face. It's, when I have a whole slew of interns, I could just like do that over there and just sit here and do that and do that and do that. It'd be kind of cool. I can't wait. One day. All right, so I think we're kind of caught up. So I think it is finally time. To ask Bror Fredrik anything, just about anything. I'm going to cover the ground rules just like I always do. I know a lot of you heard it already, but there might be a lot of new people on. Again, if you do want to ask me a question, you do have to be a subscriber. You don't have to be a member, because we do members only, chats and AMAs and all that type of stuff, but you do have to be a subscriber. So hold tight for 15 minutes, and then you can ask away. You might even get a shout out. All right. And the ground rules are this. If, you can ask me just about anything. It doesn't have to be about Vegas, 5 best places to eat shrimp in town and all that type of stuff. That's fine. If you want to ask, about slot, you could ask Vegas-oriented questions, but this is also your opportunity to ask me personally. So you can, if you want to get to know me a little better, this is your chance. What I will not answer is what my social security number is, my date of birth, that type of stuff. I mean, let's be honest, and you guys shouldn't answer those type of questions either. What's my password? That we're not going there. If I feel a question is too personal or exposes myself or the people around me to critique and or, situations, I'll just pass on it, politely, but I will answer just about anything. Wow, this weather. And of course, super chatted questions will come to the top. I could see it here, and those will take priority over other questions, but I will get to them. If you have a question, what I would want to ask is before I come on live, or if I post it in Facebook, don't ask the questions there because I probably won't see them because they're already buried by like 1,000 other things. What's going on, Bert? And, I'd like to start now. And also, if you're watching this tomorrow or a week from now, and you do have a question or a suggestion for questions, drop that in the comments because I do read all the comments afterwards. I tend to read. Well, this is the chat. This is in the comments section. I'm pointing over here because my phone's over here. This is the chat section that we're looking at. I look at most of that, but the comments, I read them all after the video goes up, after it's live. So if you have any questions, put them in there. that might inspire either a whole separate video if it's interesting enough, or some conversation. Like if we have a little lull here, I don't think we will. I do have something from last week we're going to talk about. So let's get started with Ask Me Anything. Let's see. Of the things you wanted to be as a kid was a cow. Yeah, one of the things I wanted to be as a kid was a cowboy. What was my favorite Western movies? That's fairly simple. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Ah, wah, wah, wah. Ah, wah, wah, wah. Who didn't like that? I mean, that was just classic. I loved Clint Eastwood. I would say mentally he was like a surrogate father to a certain degree. I learned a lot of, things from Clint Eastwood. Like the whole, don't be the empty barrel that makes the most noise, but when it's time for action, get on it. I wouldn't say I learned a lot about how to treat women from those movies, because back then you just grab them by the hair and book, that type of thing. But, I learned a lot of concepts. I mean, I even went out and bought like my first little Swish of Sweets things, because he used to have that little, thing in his mouth all the time. I got a poncho. I went through the whole thing. I went through two phases. I went through my Clint Eastwood phase via reruns, not that old, let's be real, and Fonz. Like, I thought the Fonz was cool. My mom used to run that in reruns all the time, watching Henry Winkler. And it wasn't until I saw who Henry Winkler was that he wasn't the Fonz, because they say never meet your heroes, that I got kind of put off to him. But I used to have like the 7 combs in my pocket when I was a little shit, whatever. But yeah, all the spaghetti westerns, specifically with Clint Eastwood, all the Clint Eastwood ones. Also, I used to watch all the reruns of Bonanza and Big Valley. Those are just awesome. But I see some other. I'm gonna get to the super chat ones first. Venus says, "Do I want to get married in the future?" If I did, I'd get a prenup. That's number one, highly recommended. 2, honestly, I've always viewed the act of marriage as capitulating with what man wants, in terms of, making sure it's a piece of paper and certified by someone and filed in the courthouse. Emotionally, I would have no problem whatsoever. I am a person who deeply commits. I don't need a piece of paper to prove it, so I don't know if I do that. And the way that the situation is now, that, the system is so biased against men, if something goes wrong in a relationship, it makes for a pretty scary situation, losing half your shit because something didn't work out, and it, again, statistically, women file over 70% to 80% of all divorces. So, I don't know what that's, well, I know what it's about. I just don't want to get into it. A little monkey branching, that type of stuff going on, but, less commitment. So, I like red, you like blue. I think I'm going to get a divorce. Like 80% filed by women, and you lose half your shit. Doesn't look good. Could lose your kids. Not that I have or want or whatever. I'm fine being kid-free. Under the right circumstances, perhaps, but, I think the actual paper filing and ka-thunk is more of a woman's framework than a man's framework. So most men who ultimately get married are usually like, either want to lock it in, or it's like the pressure comes in. I think men can commit without a piece of paper. I think women have a little bit of a problem with that because of the security factor. You know, F around and find out that I get half your stuff. Not that all women are like that, but yeah. Okay. Kyle says, how do you like the coffee, bro? Side note, your Toomey bag is cool. Shout out, Bro Nation. Member for 25 months. Kyle, thank you very much. How do I like the coffee? I was loving that coffee. Matter of fact, I finished the bag of it on the last live stream. It was excellent. It was really good. Really, really good choice. And that's on my list now. So thank you very much for that. And thank you for 25 months. And I see Marie with the 10 banana round says, thank you very much. Bror, if you could use your photographic abilities to take a picture of anyone alive or dead, who would it be? Who would I want to take a picture of? That is a really good question. I would say, wow, that's a good question. I like that. Alive or dead? Alive or dead? Besides Jesus? I would say Frank Sinatra, and I would also say Sade. I would like to photograph Frank because when he looks at you, he's looking at you. So to get him in front of a camera with that intensity, with that... Okay, I'll see if I can do a Frank Sinatra. You know, you just knew, and I've seen him live at Westbury. He would do that with everyone in a small venue, or individuals and women in a venue, even dudes. So I think I could capture that through a camera. And Sade is, I like her skin tone. I like her expressions because, I mean, believe it or not, how weird this sounds, I like resting bitch face. I just do. And she's one of the queens of resting bitch face. And if you don't know what that is, go Google it. It happens to work for me. A lot of people will be turned off by it, but I'm just like, how you doing? I like the resting bitch face. All right. So let's keep it moving. Marilyn Monroe, Jim Morrison. Yeah, Jim, if you can get him to sit still. Yeah, ladies, get that. I don't even know how to do. There's no like resting dude face, because that would be like resting asshole face. That would be like screw face. Like, I spent so much of my life, I'm kind of mellower now, but I spent so much of my life like in a scowl. I guess that's a New York thing, like this, with my chin down so nobody punches me in my throat. That these horns, ooh, you hear the lightning? These horns are almost permanent. Even though Tiege Hanley definitely lighten them up a little bit. Link in the description. Definitely, I wouldn't say it's never going to get rid of them. Nothing can get rid of something like that. But yeah, I was always like this, because that's how you had to be. But I do it with a grin too. Yeah. You hate your resting bitch face. You need some Botox to remove it. Now it's, I don't know. I kind of dig it. It's just a thing. You know, for guys too, it's a monicum of security. If your woman could pull off some good resting bitch face, that's a good thing. You don't want your woman out in the world like smiling at all the dudes. You know what I'm saying? No guy's down with that. I don't care what they say. No guy is down. Friendly is one thing, but, you don't want to look... Well, okay. I can't speak for anyone else, but I wouldn't want the woman that I'm with being overly friendly and overtly friendly. You know what I'm saying? I want to be at least a little, at the bare minimum, a little unapproachable looking. That's a good thing. You guys know what I'm saying, right? So resting bitch face is kind of awesome. Yeah, it's a New York thing for sure. All right, let's see. All right, keep them going. Where do you like to get away, but not far outside of Vegas? Says Thomas Penn. Okay, yeah, Botox can get rid of that, but I'm afraid I don't want to start sticking Botox in my face and getting all addicted to it and start looking like Mickey Rourke after a while. I don't think I'm down with that. Oh, let's do a Mickey Rourke. Is that a good look? Hello, I'm Bror Fredrik. I don't think I could do it. That was probably ugly. Let me see. Yeah, it's pretty ugly. All right, where do I like to get away not far outside of Vegas? Two places. I like going to just about anywhere in Utah. I love Utah. When the weather's nice, not in the summer. I do love Utah. And outside of Vegas, I do. Tahoe, Lake Tahoe is probably my favorite place in all of the United States. Lake Tahoe. I just couldn't get down with, the 20 feet of snow for 6 months out of the year. That doesn't work for me. Other than that, I love Lake Tahoe. I like going to San Diego, and I love Utah. I love the San Diego. I love like the beaches. I'm not a beach person per se. You'll never catch me laying on a beach just like chilling like Bob Dylan. But I like going there and doing stuff around the beach and then leaving. Couldn't stay there. All right. Steve, what up, bro? Thanks for those 5 banana ramas. Let's see. Yeah, well, any man that gets a facelift, every one of them ends up looking like either Wayne Newton or Mickey Rourke. You don't have a choice because especially the male human skull, cranium, jaw structure, there's only so much variety. So you stretch the skin over that mold, you look like Mickey Rourke. So that's kind of sad. All right. Steve wants to know coffee, Red Bull, or Monster. I'm still on the coffee train. I would say I didn't like the crash after, so I see how people can get into, the Red Bulls and the Monsters, but the crash on the other side makes you want to have more in order to keep that going, because the high, if you can call it a high, the buzz, the upness was definitely more pronounced with Red Bull and the Monster. I mean, you feel it. I got the face tingles and all that type of stuff. I don't like crashing on the other side. Where coffee, other than like True Bar coffee, or what I do is I make I don't make a separate Americano, but I make a coffee, and sometimes in the morning I'll put a bunch of espresso in that and tamp it down so it has extra caffeine. I don't crash. I don't get as up, but there's no crash on the other side. So I would have to say coffee still in the lead. There's bears up in them there hills. Yeah, the OC beaches. I love all the OC beaches. Ever since I saw that show, California. You remember they adopted the kid from the bad name, like from the White Hood, and they brought him into the house, and he was an asshole, but then he was cool, and they gave him a Range Rover. What was that show? I think that show was actually called California. I developed two loves. Piers in California from that show, because a lot of that show took place at Piers, and Range Rovers. Because they gave this freaking numbskull kid a Range Rover, and I was just like, I want one of them. But now I don't want one of them. I do, but I don't. I want a new one, but that isn't going to happen. Someone can send my question as a super duper chat. I don't see what it was. Sorry, can't super chat on the phone. The app crashes? Try to uninstall, reinstall. All right, let's see. Moon landing, JFK. Ooh. Moon landing is what it is. Pearl Harbor. is what it is. 9/11 kind of is. Okay, I have the most questions about the John F. Kennedy situation. Wouldn't say questions because I think we all kind of knew what happened with that situation, or sort of if maybe. But I'd really like to know who all the players are. Whether we've been to the moon or not, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's kind of controversial per se. It was a race. It could have been, this and that. But my mind would more go to something that transpired with the president, that we needed that regime change. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of layers of that onion that need to be peeled still. Let's see. JR, what's going on? That show was called The OC. Do I miss Jones Beach? Yes. I miss New York as a whole. So I think someone asked that question of all the places I lived, where do I miss the most? I would say New York. I miss New York. I miss the diversity of New York in terms of the weather. Well, the people. Yeah, the people. Absolutely. Because that's how I grow up, rolling deep with like the freaking UN. And I'm not saying that just to use that word cleverly, but that was the truth. But I like the diversity of the weather. 4 true 3-month plus or minus seasons. I like the diversity of terrain. You can go in this direction, be at the beach, go in that direction, be at the lakes, go in that direction, be in the mountains, go in that direction, be in the concrete jungle. I mean, that level of diversity. And the food, all right. Okay, this is the food capital of the world, supposedly, unless you're familiar with New York. New York blows most of what's on the strip away. That's why I'm looking forward to Peter Luger's opening, because they said their new menu is going to be unique to Vegas, and I'm just like, really? You're famous for that, and you're going to develop a new, just go with it, But Jones Beach, I have such wonderful memories from Jones Beach, except going there for fireworks and having to sleep in the car because it was such a drama to get out. The boardwalk, big, beautiful, wide boardwalk that just went on for miles and miles and miles. Yeah, I miss Jones Beach. The fishing wasn't so great there, unfortunately. And there was a couple of nice restaurants. And there was also a brunch place if you came down from Smithtown. That was just absolutely freaking awesome. And you could have brunch and, it was like a brunch buffet, the kind that they make you omelets and all that. That was awesome. You get a handmade omelet while you watch the waves come in. Brooklyn is the joint. The gift I'm having to send to you, is that for me? The gift I'm having to send to you requires the P.O. box will take care of the signature, so that's cool. Have I been fishing down in Mexico? No, I have not. I've not been fishing down in Mexico, but I have been fishing off of Long Island, going back to New York. Been shark fishing and deep sea big eye tuna, giant tuna fishing down in the canyons. If you know where that is, it's the deepest part right off of Long Island. My friend had a 46 or a 48 foot Hatteras, and we used to go out for like a week and catch the giant ass tuna, like 600, 700, 800 pound freaking tuna, fight them for 9 hours. And then sell them to the Japanese sushi people. You'd radio in and say, I got a 542 pounder, and they'd be at the dock with cash in hand. Take that off your hand. So that was good times. NY food is the best. All right. Yeah, good fishing at Captree. Absolutely. You're still full from Maggiano's. That's funny. That was pretty good. Let's see. Keep them coming. Have I ever been to Vancouver? What did you do? I've not been to Vancouver yet. I used to spend a lot of time in Montreal and Quebec, on that side. I loved it. Especially Quebec. I mean, I spent a decent amount in Montreal, but that's, like any other metropolitan city, at least when I used to go. And I found it clean and beautiful. And it's had its crafty areas and had its beautiful areas. But I liked Quebec because as a New Yorker who, hadn't taken a vacation in the past 25 years, it was a quick run. From Long Island, I could be up in Quebec in like 8 hours, less than 8 hours. The money exchange used to be phenomenal. Used to stay in those like stone palaces in Quebec, that they either turn into hotels or government offices for like $20 for like $30-40 for like a presidential suite. That was good times, and everyone spoke French. Used to sit in cafes and out in the street, and I mean, I did that in Little Italy too. But some car would splash you. It didn't happen in Quebec, so it was kind of cool. But no, I have not been to Vancouver yet. I like to do. Let's see, Val Marie, that did come through. If this super chat goes through, I'd like to gift Angie with this to ask you a question. Angie, go ahead and ask away. You should do a drive and talk outside of the city, like in Red Rock Canyon, a little diversity. You're an interesting guy. Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't mind doing that, I mean, I've done... like I said, there's some changes coming to the channel, so that might be a thing. I did, sometimes I'll be honest, because, doesn't ask me anything. Sometimes I'm a little, how would I say? I wouldn't say nervous, but sometimes I question certain things, because I did an amazing Red Rock video in glorious 4K. I spent hours putting that together besides going up there, and to this day it's got like 2,000 views maybe, and I put so much effort into that. I honestly did. I thought that would be like a masterpiece. Extra time with the editing and the color correction, and I mean, I made a list of shots I wanted to get, and like 2 or 3 takes, around the same area, which is almost impossible. I went and hiked to find certain things, and to see it with like 2,000 views, and I did talk some of it, I think. To see it with 2,000 views was just like, ugh. I mean, nothing against anyone, but it just didn't go over the way I thought it would. I did the same thing with Hoover Dam. And it's like a 45-minute video showing every aspect of Hoover Dam. And that one's got like 2,000 views, maybe 3 by now. So I was like, so it makes me a little, it makes me a little concerned, because that's a huge investment of time besides the entire day being out there, the parking fees. Not that everything's about money, but YouTube is a business. Part-time, but it's still a business. I like to get compensated for what I do. And I probably spent 10 hours editing. So I have cumulatively 18-20 hours into that video, maybe more, maybe like full 3 days, 24 hours worth of work, and that video probably made me like $40. Not that everything's about money, but it's hard to apply yourself when you know that the chances are that it might fall flat on its face, if I'm just being completely honest. So I do like doing other stuff, and that's why I would rather do it live than invest the time in all the editing and yada yada yada, glorious 4K, which I still love doing, but that slows me down. It's the reception of whether it's going to work or not. I mean, some people might be like, oh my god, that's the best video ever, and everyone else is just scrolling past it. It's kind of disheartening. That's the long answer. All right. Did I ever have front row seats at any type of event? I saw Lord of the Dance twice. I think I mentioned that in the last one. Lord of the Dance with Michael Flatley doing the tapping, and that sucked. I had literal front row seats, and I was like, yeah, they were comped. That was back in the radio show days, and I felt like the boss until I learned that I had to do like this. I mean, I was like this the rest of for like a week after that. My neck was like, oh my God, I will never get a front row seat ever again. I mean, if it was like an intimate dinner show type of thing, but even I wouldn't even want to have front row seats at like Mayfair Club, because it's like, you know, I want to take it all in. I don't want to be looking up, you know, some woman's dress and some other dude's junk over there. I just want to I want to take it all in. I want to see the people's reaction to them being in the front and taking it all in. So I'm more of like a mezzanine or like just behind the front row seats. That's kind of me. Do I prefer black and white or color? In terms of photography, I went through a black and white phase, but believe it or not, black and white is extraordinarily difficult to get correct. Otherwise, it just looks like, you know, like if you don't do it, it's the first time my air conditioner just kicked on. If you don't do it with black and white in mind and really put the effort into doing a black and white, it looks like you just took a color image and slid the saturation slider over and just sucked all the color out of it. You know, I never got to the place where, you know, I can get so many different levels of black, white, and gray to be just like bang. But I do love to interpret color. So I would say color. Do I like amusement parks? No. That was an easy one. No. I don't like amusement parks. I don't like spinning. I don't like waiting in lines, and I don't like being spun around for any reason, not even on a teacup ride. I'm just not cut out for that. I'd jump out of a plane. I would do all that type of stuff, but voluntarily subjecting myself to motion sickness, not my wheelhouse. So no amusement parks for me. Have I ever met a maid dude? Yes, several. And they were cool. I mean, they don't talk about it. You either find out before or you find out later. You know, any guy who's saying he is probably isn't, or, you know what I'm saying? You know the deal. But yes. You had front row seats to George Carlin. Was that the dude who used to... No, that was Gallagher who used to smash stuff, right? But am I into sports? No. That was a quick one too. Did that surprise anyone? I have very specific thoughts about sports. I just never found the time to get into it. And I would honestly say that I probably bought my house based on the fact that I don't follow sports, because I've never bought tickets. I've never bought gear. All the time that I would have spent watching games, I've worked, or, not mowing lawns or whatever, but, literally applied myself to my craft and made money instead of doing that. And people would say, well, you need time to relax and all this other stuff. I've always found work pretty freaking relaxing and rewarding because I've always been an entrepreneur. So that's always been my sport, the wins and losses in the entrepreneurial game. So other than, okay, if you want to talk sports that I will watch, anything pugilistic. I like fisticuffs, that I will watch. I used to like F1. Now FU F1, because it's just making living in Las Vegas nightmarish. I like curling. They get down and they let that stone go, and the other guy's like, I like curling. What can I tell you? There's going to be a curling facility opening up here in Las Vegas. I don't know for why they chose to do it, but there's legitimately going to be like curling here in Las Vegas. So I love curling. I love some motorsports, and I love pugilism. You know, MMA. I don't like all the rolling around on the ground. I just like to see two guys beating the shit out of each other. You know, not on the ground. Spooning and whatnot. You know, I mean, yeah, it's still fighting, but I like to see, I like to see punching. So yeah, that's a question. All right, let's see. I do exactly. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, I actually have high quality. I never did scuba. No. Well, I tried someone else's. That doesn't really count though. But I have snorkeled a lot. Even I started as a kid in swimming pools and whatnot. I was always down with, snorkeling. I have good professional snorkel stuff. So yeah, I mean, oceans kind of creep me out. I like doing it in lakes per se, but I'll go just about anywhere and snorkel. So yeah, okay. I don't want to miss questions here. Let me check super chat activities, see if I missed any questions. Fan funded questions. No, I think we're good on those. Let's get back over here. Yo, welcome, Sylvia. Snorkeling is just awesome. Angela's question. What was the best thing? Oh, I see what just happened. Okay. I was a little confused on how that was taking place. I would have got that, but I do appreciate that 20 banana rams. What is the best thing that happened to me today? Outside of YouTube, which is, the whole world that you guys are not familiar with me being in, but that is the corporate environment and the company and the people that I engage with. We had a really big W. Matter of fact, there's several, and those need to be celebrated and acknowledged, and they were absolutely awesome. Got some things across the finish line finally that have been brewing, and it just feels absolutely awesome. And I would say a relief all the way around for myself. No, I wouldn't say relief, because I always expect victory. I live for victory. Even if I lose a battle, I know I'm never, ever gonna lose a war. So I'll take, occasionally you got to do a little retreat and move forward. But yeah, today was confirmed. There's a high. There's a good, pleasant high, but at the same time, it's still time to put our nose to the grindstone. So yeah, just really, really good send up. I can't really discuss it. Prefer not to, but maybe sometime in the future. But toss up some blessings and some good feelings that the momentum is going to continue. And thank you very much. What is my definition of a true gentleman? Okay. Someone file that. That is actually an entire video that I'm working on. If someone could take a note and put that into it, because that is an actual video that I'm working on. What it means to be a gentleman and what it means to be a man, and, how the two mesh, and to elevate, that's the purpose of that. So definitely put that on the side, and that's definitely something that's going to come, and that is actually going to be a whole separate video. So thank you. But it's absolutely great news. Yeah, wins are good. Like I said, it's I'm a big picture type of guy. If you know me, you know that. I mean, I don't look at I never say to myself, that's $10 a month. I always say to myself, that's $120 a year. That's how I view life. Yes, it's good to to look in the near, to actually see the tree in front of you, of course, but to see the forest always pays off higher dividends. And I could attribute most of the successes in my life to being able to look at the big picture. And that's kind of my thing. So, I expect wins. I don't mind the little trials and tribulations because I'm always looking at the big picture. If the big picture gets sour, you see the whole forest on fire, it's time to freaking run, but for all intents and purposes, that does not happen. And if it did, you bail, whatever, that's a whole nother conversation. Prayers for the wins, awesomeness. All right, let's keep it going. See, I don't like looking down. I still have not. It's still problematic seeing the chat in the studio. I'm gonna work on that a little bit. Bro, with the world so F the F up in certain ways, do you ever find yourself losing hope, or am I an internal optimist? Okay. I am not, we'll handle that first. I am not a glass half empty kind of person. I am not a half glass half full type of person either. I am a fill that shit back up person. that's where my mind is. I see, look at a half glass. I don't view it as full or empty. I'm just looking for a source to fill it back up. I don't think that, I don't like having that defined. I don't like having the things in my life defined so fixed, a base, a bound, win-loss. I like to know and know that it might actually be in my control, or somehow, some way I can work a situation or think of a situation, or God will come down and fix it, that the glass will get refilled, whether through work, whether through whatever. I'm always, so I guess I would say optimistic. That's an optimistic viewpoint, but I've seen both. I've seen the glass half empty, I've seen the glass half full, but I'm always looking to fill that shit back up again. That is my state of mind. In this current world, a lot of you guys have heard it, but I think I'm going to start reading passages from the Havamal, ancient Nordic text that is sort of like the handbook of life. And in that handbook of life, the Havamal, and you'll find it very interesting. I feel a sneeze coming on. Excuse me. It's also pollen season. It says, basically, for all intents and purposes, to be wise, but don't get too wise, because the wiser you get, the less happy you're capable of being. Nords are pragmatic, and I consider myself pragmatic AF. Very black and white. Pragmatic. That's a trap I can fall into, if I'm 100% honest, because I want to know everything about everything. So sometimes when you endeavor to find out everything about everything, it can sour you, quote unquote jade you. And I do fall into that. Now with the world today, I try not to. I try to offset it with enough levity. And you could even tell, even when I get into a serious topic, I'll stop and just crack a little joke, and maybe I'm the only one getting it, but it's to reset my brain so I don't go into a negative mindset, because I don't want to go, even though I love doing social commentary and talking about topical things, I don't want to be like fire and brimstone and just preaching shit. There has to be some positive aspect, or positive aspect, but it can't all be doom and gloom. And if you focus so much on the negative, that's what news is. News is basically forcing you to deal with other people's problems and making you unhappy about it. That's the whole premise of news, and then commoditizing your eyeballs. But I digress. In today's world, it's getting harder and harder. So I think I'm going more. I don't know if I've ever taught you guys this. There's another one. Someone please write it down. The sphere of influence. That's a concept I don't think I've discussed in 3 years. The sphere of influence means that you can only control what you can control. You can only control what is in your, if you can use the word control, have influence over. You can only influence things in a certain sphere in your life. That's called your personal sphere of influence. We all have one. Every one of us has one, and they can either be positive or they can be negative. So what I've been doing now that the world it's freaking clown world, you know, it's up, it's down. What's wrong is right. What's right is wrong. It's a freaking train wreck. What's going on out there? I don't know if it's ever going to change. I'd like to go back to some normality. I don't think what we're facing right now, though some people, you know, a micro segment of the population wants it to be the norm, but the majority does not. You know, we still value traditional things, but we're being hijacked. Anyway, again, I digress. How I've been dealing with that is to tighten up my sphere of influence. You know, I'm coming into a point in my personal life where I know what I have influence over, good or bad. And I work from that level, and I try not to let things outside of that sphere come into that bubble, into that sphere that I have in my personal life. It's just my way of keeping the guard up, finding like-minded people who, you know what I'm saying? Just tightening up that sphere. However, at the same time, part of the transition into the studio, being that I have my personal sphere, but I also have a greater one in terms of my ability to reach people. And that's what I want to do. That's why I keep joking around. You know, I don't want to sit here talking about the 5 best places to eat shrimp, because I know I can influence people for good. I know I can inspire. I know I can motivate. I know I can help people improve, thus improving myself in the process. So we're going to do it together. I'm not going to sit here and preach at you, but I want to elevate. If I'm going to do this and continue on YouTube and take my time that I could obviously be doing something else with, I want it to have an impact. And that's my greater sphere of influence. I want people to say, that I don't always agree with him, but damn, he made me think. You know, that's all I'm going for. I don't want to piss people off, although I'm gonna. I don't want people to kiss my ass, though they might. I don't want everyone to love me, but I appreciate the love. I want people to say, damn, he got me to think. The freaking guy got me to think about something. Whatever, you don't have to think like me. It's not a prerequisite to enjoying my content. Not a prerequisite. But thinking is. That's the prerequisite that I'm going to demand. That you must think. That you must think for yourself, and you must think critically, and you must think honestly, and you must think openly. That's all I'm going to ask. If the outcome happens to be wonderful, I mean, if it sucks, let me know too, but I want to stimulate thought and critical thought at that. And if someone's like, oh, because I do get them. I get some extraordinarily pleasant messages. Oh my God. You know, ever since I heard you say that one thing while you were jumping over a fence, you know, I thought about it and it took me down this rabbit hole and things changed. You know what that means to me? I can't even describe it. It's not an ego thing. It's not like, whatever. It's just like, I view it like this. Sometimes I say things during my live stream, especially when I'm walking around, because I get into that stream of consciousness. And I'm like, later on, I'll think, why did I say that? And if I'm 100% honest, I knew I was inspired to say something for one MFer out there. I don't know who he or she is, but I just know it, and I got to follow through on it. Sometimes I don't even think about it. It's just like, and that one person will be like, It's powerful shit. Mind over matter. All right, let's see. What are we talking about here? I agree. I find myself drawn to... Yeah, I mean, like-minded people is a great thing, but also be cautious. If you surround yourself with everyone who thinks exactly the way you do, it's kind of a fool's errand, because nobody grows. Because once you think you know everything and there's no... Okay, I could summarize it by saying the Dead Sea is dead because it has an inlet and no outlet. That's all I'm going to say. So if you're going to stay around like-minded people, that's okay. You don't have to bring in opposing opinions. I mean, don't bring in assholes into your inner circle, but have an outlet. Always have an outlet. Someone to teach, someone to share, a journal. Even if nobody reads that thing, journal it or make a video and stash it. You don't have to start a YouTube channel. You got to have an outlet, but the best thing to do is share it with other people, and consequences be damned, and, make some more like-minded people. So yeah, so you got to be careful. Some people I'm into the what was the head marketing person from BL who tanked the company by doing that thing with the person and all that. She did a whole thing. Oh, I'm so into diversity that I surround myself with like-minded people who think just like me. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. So that's a slippery slope. But if you're talking about for positive, and you're gonna keep thumbs up, like-minded people are good. Like-minded, you don't always agree with people who are like-minded, because we both might like Mercedes-Benz. We both might like Benzos, but you might like yours white, I might like mine black, But we still have the like-mindedness of the benzo. Some people take like-mindedness to a point where it's like, yeah, you like benzos, but white ones suck. It's the black ones that are cool, so we're not like-minded. That's the pitfall. So you gotta, what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I'm not pointing my finger at you or anything. Let's get down with some coffee. Raw. Toilet paper over or under? What kind of psychopath puts that toilet paper under? Where you gotta squeeze it up against the wall to get that. It's an over thing. If it gets stuck, you flip it. It comes out. It's an over. I think there was an executive order a few years ago that all toilet paper must be in the over position. Because I don't like when it's in the under. I mean, if you do under, that's you. We can still be friends. But when it's under, it's the equivalent of when the tape comes off the cutting thing and it goes back on the roll and you can't find the end. That's what it's like. You can always find the end when it's in the over, because gravity takes over. So it's an over. All right, let's see what else is going on. Bum, bum, bum. Unless you have a cat, because a cat could F the F out of it. Angie with the tough question. What, did I miss an Angie question? John's back from the Beverly Hillbillies. Eating pizza? Moose Tooth if you're ever in Anchorage. I wanna go up to Anchorage one of these days. I wanna go to Alaska. I have a friend in Ketchikan. I should go visit him. I don't know if we're friends anymore. Maybe I should ask him, hey, bro, we still friends? I'll come see you. Oprah Winfrey taking... Ooh, I was... Golden Eagle. I was just about to watch that. You caught me on that one. I do not have an opinion quite yet on Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, and isn't it Rock? And that guy's a jackass. I used to like him a lot, but just shut up. And then not you. The Rock dude. Freaking sellout. But yeah, I'm gonna watch that video because I see the two of them like doing something up there. And you bet the over or under. Yeah, how many people had the over on that one? I better not see that. Yeah, imagine that as a bet in a sports book. Catch a Can was cool. I mean, I was up there. Shit, it's probably changed, but I was up there like 10 years ago. It looked pretty freaking awesome. Went during the nice weather, of course. Someone told me, an old guy, like a really old guy, really old. He was 102. He used to have to get a full blood transfusion every week to stay alive. He jumped out of a plane, parachuted during D-Day. And he used to tell me stories, and he used to like put his head back and you could see him. Yeah, like he would go back there, like he would time travel. He would just like, he was at that place in his life and he would just time travel there. But he used to have two expressions. He used to say, I'm so old, I don't even buy green bananas. And then the other one was, hey, Bror. I'd be like, what? I still remember saying goodbye to him. I just got sad. Like, we literally said goodbye because he's like, I ain't doing this shit no more. So, yeah, goodbye. He said, life. It's like, hey, bro, sit down. He says, life is like a roll of toilet paper. It starts out big, fluffy. You peel a thing, you peel a couple pieces, you peel a couple pieces, and it doesn't look like you've even used it. You know, new roll. You peel off 10 pieces, still looks like a new roll. That's life. But as life goes on, and you start peeling, the closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. You know, 10 rolls, 10 pieces in the beginning, it doesn't even put a dent because it's still big fluffy roll. 10 pieces, 3/4 in, it goes down fast. He said life's like a roll of toilet paper. You know, he made that analogy. He's like, you know, do shit. Do shit with intent. Walk with intent. Think with intent. Operate with intent. Do business with intent. Love with intent. Knock boots with intent. Do everything with intent. Because the more you use that roll of toilet paper, the quicker it goes. So I passed that on. So I just kept his memory alive. Yeah, 102. Yeah, he was old. He just got tired of that shit. Imagine getting a transfusion just to stay alive, and he was just like, what the actual F am I doing? All right, let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, imagine that. Well, Clint Eastwood too. Man, Clint, is he involved in some type of stuff? Am I gonna have to reevaluate him? All right, I'm gonna keep my eye on him. What's up with Jeff Bezos? Is he sticking stuff in his see? Bum, 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 bum. Let's get rid of that. See Jeff Bezos all like freaking buff now? Ever since he lost half his shit. He's probably pissed about it, but he's still got a lot of shit. Made a giant, phallic freaking thing to shoot up in space. It probably goes like this, once it gets to the top. He's still got a lot of money, but he hooked up with what's her face, and he's hitting the gym. I think he's like jabbing some stuff in there because he's looking all like raw. That shirt looks wrinkled. I iron. Yeah, that is a great observation. I mean, this shirt is designed to wear under a jacket, obviously, or open with a t-shirt on underneath or whatever. It's not as fitted as if I was like, I wouldn't wear this. This isn't an out shirt because it's not fitted, but I iron. I mean, even if something's called wrinkle free, I don't believe it. I actually take the time to iron. I used to do send my stuff out for dry cleaning, but there's two things I actually enjoy doing. Washing my own dishes by hand and ironing. Because it's like, it's menial. I like the, because I have like a couple of those acronym things, if you know what I'm saying. So ironing allows me to bleed off some of those things by making perfect sleeves and perfect collars and stuff like that. Like I know my neck, I like that, put a little curve on there so it stays in, it's not doing the bozo. I took it on the side of the ironing board and turned it in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But that's a release for me, but it also allows me to think. I find it very cathartic to iron, and I find it very cathartic to wash dishes, even though I have a dishwasher. You know what I know what's in my dishwasher? My blender. My blender, my NutriBullet, some of my vitamins. I just don't use it. I went out and bought all this shit. I run it once in a while so it doesn't like dry out and get weird and whatnot. Keeps its value. It's beautiful. It's expensive one. The stainless, blah, blah, blah. I like washing dishes. And people say, oh, that's not as sanitary. My hands can handle some heat. Pure hot water. So, yeah, I appreciate you noticing. That was a good question. That made me think. What do I do to get rid of stress? Well, that's actually the same... That's actually the same thing. Iron. Flamin' Mo, I like your shirts. Can you take us on a shirt buying stream? Yeah, I will. I absolutely will. Someone asked me that 2 days ago, and I think I will do some shopping tours because I just did another. I like nice clothes. I like bumming around just like the next guy, the gray sweats and flip-flops and whatever. Believe it or not, I'll let you in on some news. Okay. What you don't see, I could have like shitty shorts on, but I got jeans on. But I'm wearing my flip-flops now, because they're comfortable. I never used to wear them, but I like to shop and I like nice shit and I like getting good deals on nice shit too. I just did another Dillard's haul. If I paid, I got 3 pairs of slacks, 3 pairs of shorts, 2 beautiful micro cotton t-shirts in some beautiful colors for like the price of 1 pair of slacks. I know how to shop. I'll take you there. I'll take you. We're gonna do some shopping together. And closet stream is not a bad idea. I wish this place is so bad for this place. There's hardly any closets. That's just a Vegas thing. I have one big walk-in closet. This room on the other side of this wall has a kind of like half the size walk-in closet. But if I had room, I'd hang my frickin' underwear. That's just me. I just I sweat details. But some things I don't. That's funny you said that. But that's, that's an acronym thing. Some things I could honestly give two shits about, and other things I get like all, like I could spend, I have like a dishcloth in the kitchen, and I gotta get it like just perfect, and like there's other things that I'm like, whatever, it just depends, just depends how it hits sometimes. Like sometimes certain things like organize chaos, and other things are just like soldier. Like when I make my bed in the morning, you could literally bounce quarters off it, tuck in the sides, the sheet and everything else has a diamond in the corner and the whole bit. And other things I'm just like, fuck it. I don't know why. I hope you turn it. Oh, my mistake. Like doing dishes 40 years now. Yeah, I hear what you say. I just find it, like a Zoom call. I just find it exceedingly cathartic and relaxing to do shit like that. No, Flamin' Mo, I seriously will do it. I seriously will do it. We will do a shirt show, a clothes show. I mean, I go to such extremes back and forth. Like I said, I could bum, I can cowboy, I can do stuff, and I also have a collection of cufflinks. I have like onyx with little tiny diamond cufflinks. I'm not like, some people would say, oh, it's so freaking metro to, like, I can't wait for someone to invite me to something where I have to wear my tux. I own two tuxes, but I also own, 4 pairs of cowboy boots, and I had them, one I had made and the rest were, off the rack. I'm just like that. I like different. I like different shit, That makes sense. I don't know. Do I like button-down collars? Yes. I love button-down collars. And this isn't one of them, that's why I had to take the time. It has a little extra here, but I like the shirts that have the piece of plastic to give it a little rigidity here. Yeah, I like that. I like a sharp collar. Let's see what else. Who's Sammy the Bunny? Will you do a cooing show? What do you mean cooking? We're talking about cooking? Yes, I want to start doing cooking shows. Absolutely. Like I said, there's a video coming discussing all the things I want to do from the studio, and quite frankly, I got to get more comfortable doing it. I got to get more. Doing this is completely different than walking around live. I can still maintain a conversation. I feel like I'm making the eye contact, like I just feel like I have a bunch of friends over right now. But it's a little different because when I'm walking on the strip, there's so many distractions. Like I could see something on the ground and talk about it for 20 minutes. I can see a comment, talk about it for 20 minutes. I could see something over there that reminds me of a story that I could talk about as, I'm walking and doing my thing and pointing the camera around. So it's a lot different. Here, it's just me, the microphone, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I ever use that camera back there, 6 cameras and 7 lights, it's a little different. It's definitely a little different. I'm okay with it. I'm not like, oh my God, I don't have butterflies in my stomach or anything, but it's different. I have to have my content a little more prepared and a little tighter and this and that. And that's why I like doing this type of stuff too, this interaction, but it's way different than being out there. So yeah, I want to get this, not that I'm uncomfortable, but I want to get all the bugs out. I want to get, like I'm still messing with the lights that I want. I'm still messing with the colors. I'm still messing with the microphone positions, and I probably always will, because, that's just me. And I want a larger audience here. Like right now we have 120 people, and someone just left right now. See you. 119 people. If I went out on the strip, it'd be like 400. So I want to develop, and I understand that, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. Some people are, they follow me for the Vegas aspect, and I keep pointing in that direction because Vegas is that way, the strip. In case you didn't figure that out yet. And that's okay. Some people, will like this, and more people might like it. So I want to start, I want to grow the audience before I pull out all the stops, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Because, it just makes sense logistically for me and whatnot. And then I could get a greater sense of what's working and what's not. Because right now, I'd say 4 more people just jumped on board. I'd say this 124 people, most of you guys know me already, and I could be sitting probably on the toilet, and some of you would be like listening to whatever I have to say, because you enjoy the interaction that we have, the sense of community, how I treat you all like you're my extended family and whatnot. So yeah, when there's 400 people watching me from the studio, that's going to be different, because everyone, be a lot of people who are just finding me out, figuring out what I'm all about, and basing a decision on whether they want to hang with me or you or whatever. So, I want to wait a little bit longer till the studio activity takes a little life of its own before, I do everything. Pizza I can do. Pizza I could do. Tom Max says, you're an inspiration. Thank you. Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. My way is definitely not the right way. I mean, if I'm honest, I learned just as much from you guys. I mean, can I tell you exactly how? Perhaps not. I'm I'm a little more conscious of things. You guys have brought different things to my attention over the past couple of years that I've taken into consideration. The variedness of everyone's thought processes that might not be the same as mine continue to make me think, not adapt. I'm never going to kiss ass. I'm never going to, what's the word that all the politicians do? Pander. I have no intention of pandering to anyone, in case you haven't noticed. I'm just going to speak, what I believe to be the truth. I don't like my truth. That's some bullshit. My truth. There's the truth or there's not. I'm just going to continue to be me. But you guys have opened my eyes to a lot of different things. So yeah, it's a thank you to you too. No, I got the cooking thing, Sammy. Yeah, it's definitely coming. Ask you anything. Can I ask how you lean politically? No, I don't mind saying that. YouTube being YouTube is kind of weird, because their algorithms are kind of weird. I am a constitutionalist, and I have traditional values. If that puts me on one side or the other, I don't know. Probably, you would say more on, let's see, camera. Is this camera right? That's what, but I'll call bullshit on anyone. I call bullshit on 45. I call bullshit on this guy too, 46. But yeah, I believe that the Constitution is the law of the land. It's a sacred document, and you don't frickin' F with it. I believe in God, pew-pews, and country. That's just a fact. I don't like the direction things are going in, I don't know if we can course correct, but I'm of traditional values. You know, I don't believe that life is a freaking free for all. I believe that there's consequences to our actions, not to our thoughts, not to who we knock boots with, none of that. But there are consequences to your actions, and people aren't only like a portion of society ever receives consequences, and the rest are walking around, like, the clown world people are walking around like, there's no consequences to anything. But all I can say to that is maybe not in this world, but there's gonna be some shit, Anyway, does that make sense? That confirms it. All right. Dad, Jim Wolf, you know what I'm saying? If you had to wish for anything, what would you wish for? Oh, thank you, Janice, for answering that. If I had to wish for anything, what would I wish for? I mean, it sounds so trite to say world peace. Common sense. That sounds very trite. If I wanted to wish for one thing, I mean, this might sound nuts, but you guys know it doesn't sound nuts. You guys know I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I would wish that someone would actually invent programmable matter, as in replicators. If you follow Star Trek on any level, all it was programmable matter. It's matter, nanocells, whatever, that turns into this coffee cup. When I'm done with the coffee cup, I throw it back in the thing, turns back into little nanocells, and then turns into a VR headset. If you ever wonder what that was, that's my VR headset. Sick. Why? Because that'll change the world. That will change the world. Everyone will have everything that they need. Food. I don't know if I want to use replicated food, but food, clothes, energy, like every personal and non-personal human need would be met if that ever happens. Then we can focus on bigger things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like things. I want a new Range Rover. I want all the stuffs that everyone else wants. But you know what? If you have everything, what do you need? Then I can focus on fine-tuning my skills that might actually help humanity. And if everyone had the opportunity to do that, I think the world would be a better place. If we would stop worrying about the day-to-day minutia of paying our fucking cell phone bills, we could focus on advancing society and people as a whole. It would democratize the world. It would knock the powers that be down a whole notch. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we would democratize the world. But that's my answer in a nutshell. Mike says, likes the studio. Thank you. Pragmatically speaking, is most of the Bror Nation on the Star Trek side? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if I want to know that answer. So let me know in the comments, Star Wars or Star Trek? You're in the UK and come Easter each year? That is freaking awesome. Yeah, Star Wars. It's Star Wars from my whole youth. Yeah, I get it. It's weird. You know, sometimes, like, I didn't meet my father till I was like freaking 12 or some such thing, you know? I always wonder, that's weird. Now I'm being a little like, let me get deep. I always wonder what kind of influence he would have been. Because I know him now and I wouldn't hang out with him. What if he would have, like, put things like that into me? You know, things that like, oh, every time I thought about that, I would think about him type of thing. I don't know. That's an interesting thing. But yeah, like having known him later, I'm kind of okay with it. Yeah, Twilight Zone was pretty freaking awesome too. You're a Star Wars dude. Still love you. We're good. Yeah, I mean, I've watched them. I saw like one or two of them in the movies. Yeah, for sure. But keep 'em coming. I'm very lucky. I have no brothers and sisters. Come from poor backgrounds. The parents of the earth. That is freaking awesome. Definitely be grateful. Who saw the first one in the movies? Yikes. Missy Vegas is in the house. Alright, so you're gonna keep those questions coming? I'm here. I'm waiting to hear some stuff. Alright, let me change it to all messages, not the top messages. What's my second favorite show? Let's see. My second favorite show. I don't know. What would be my second favorite show? Okay. My second favorite franchises. Okay, I have three. Matrix, Terminator, and wait, there was one other one. Why'd I cut that short? Matrix, Terminator, and Predator. Those are my absolute three favorite movie franchises. If I'm not watching that, I don't mind watching those other ones. Those are my favorite, especially the original Predator was absolutely freaking awesome. You know, because it just like, I didn't know, because that was back when, you know, Arnold was like, you know, he was like, you know, he was being Arnold, and then suddenly he was being Arnold, whoosh, and this thing comes out of nowhere. It was just like, okay, I'll be honest with you guys. We were like hanging out. We rented the movie, right? So we were like hanging out. He's like, yeah, Arnold's got this new movie. We knew nothing about this movie, right? So we were just like, yeah, let's go check it out. Because that was like back when he was doing like Commando and whatever. So we're like, yeah. So, yeah. Way back in the day. I don't really partake anymore. Well, I don't partake at all. I didn't say really. I hedged it. But yeah, we were just like, and then suddenly we're like, all right, cool, an army movie, you know? And it turned out not to be, so we were just like, whoa, did you see that? Was that invisible? What the hell was that? We were like there. So yeah, that movie holds some like special drama for me. Yeah. What am I watching now on Paramount Plus? Nothing. I'm bored of it. Oh, and John Wick. I've seen all three John Wicks like 5 times. John Wick, thank you. I'm not watching anything on Paramount right now. Everything that I want to see, they're asking me to upgrade to the next tier. I'm not spending any more money on paying to watch. I just can't. You know, even that I can afford to. It's just like, whoa. You know, when is it enough? Everything's going to be like Pellegrino. I'm going to need a subscription to buy Pellegrino, you know? But I just, ever since they hit episode 10 of, like I have it so I can watch all the Star Trek I want, because they bought up all the rights to every Star Trek thing. That's why I still have Paramount. And Strange New Worlds, they just ended the season, so now it's just like, wah, wah, wah. And that one someone told me to watch, I press it, it's like, oh, upgrade. Oh, this looks cool. Oh, upgrade. Oh, what? Someone told me to watch this. Oh, upgrade. You know, I think I'd like the base or the next. It's like freaking $10 a month. Well, how's that the bottom of the tier now? It's crazy. Anyway, what are we talking about? Predator is awesome. Favorite? I don't eat pizza. I mean, I make my own. I'm GF. I'm one of them gluten-free guys. People. So I make my own. I mean, it's not a gluten thing. It's a Monsanto thing. I I have a problem consuming Monsanto. It just jacks me up. So yeah, I always used to think that that I used to laugh at people who'd say they were gluten free. I'd be like, PUSSY, but it's a thing. Sopranos was pretty awesome. You saw Sting 14 times. Where did I grow up? I grew up in Brooklyn. Yeah, Tubi is good too. I watched some good stuff on Tubi. Dope Stick is brilliant. If anyone's seen that, Flaming Mo, that's on what? Dope Stick. Is that on Paramount? I'll go check that out. I don't know who directed that. That was freaking, yeah, you're right about Predator. That was genius. And Predators is my second favorite one. I mean, I would skip all the way back and go to Predators where the guy with the nose and the chick with the gun and whatever they were, and what's his face? That guy, the Mexican guy, they were all dropped on a planet, and the big Russian dude, where they were all dropped on a planet, and they had they were like the prey. That movie was spectacular too. 3 favorite podcasts. Unfortunately, I don't really listen. I listen to clips of podcasts. So I'd listen to Joe Rogan stuff once in a while. I used to listen to Kevin Samuel all the time. God rest his soul. That's about it. I listen to a couple, but I like them in kind of clip format. That's why I've been cutting some of my stuff into clip format. Unfortunately, I can't get on a topic and keep it under 15 minutes to save my life. I don't know if I should or I have to, but I just can't. I mean, when I get into a topic, I want to cover it like super thoroughly, and it turns out to be like an hour-long video, and I see people are watching it for like, why I say 15, I see that people are watching it from like 15 to 20 minutes. Seems to be people's attention span with long content. So I'm like, how do I discuss a topic like the 50s housewife versus the modern day housewife in 15 minutes? How do I do that? I don't know. Or do I make a series, or like, how do I because once I get into something, I like to talk about every aspect of it that comes into my mind, I don't want to leave anything out, but then I'm like, okay, here's the thing. I don't like giving partial information. I like being thorough. That's the nature of me, and everything that I do is being thorough. Now, pro YouTubers might say, well, you got to save a little more to go back to that topic, like 5 times. If you can do an hour and a half, that should be like 5 20-minute videos and put them out over the course of 6 months or whatever. I'm just too thorough. I don't want to, this is my nature. So I got to figure that out. I definitely got to figure that out. Anyway, where are we here? Gregory Roy Hill. Find it hard to sleep today. Your voice would be... Yeah, I mean, I do have another channel, that I do music on. I don't know if you guys even know. I really don't talk about it all that much because I haven't been able to apply it. But my other channel is Soulful Soundscapes. And I wanted to change that into a ASMR channel, where I can use my voice. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to talk. And I was thinking that I would like to read the Havamal in ASMR and other things like that, and do motivational stuff like put down the frickin' cheeseburger, stuff like that. I think I'd be good at it. If I had the problem is the time, Janice. It's just a time thing. I've done, Mike, I've done like a ton of voiceovers. Yeah, I do. See, I just don't, Marie Bella, I just like to get so in depth. I don't know if my audience likes that level of depth. I'm trying to figure that out, But I do like clips, I should try to keep some certain things brief. Mike, that side of the studio is a complete sound booth. So yeah, I could do all the voice. I used to do a lot of voiceover stuff and knew people out there. I had a radio show at one time and all the rest of that. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, the brain tingley stuff. I mean, the chicks do some weird stuff. I mean, I hope they don't kill it. No offense, ladies, but the ladies do a lot of the ASMR stuff, and then they like they like hypersexualize it. Like women are always saying like, don't objectify me, don't sexualize me. But everything a woman gets involved in, they know that sex sells and they sexualize it or objectify themselves. I don't have to do it. You're doing it. So even in ASMR, they're getting all like, like trying to get all kinky with it and whatnot. There's a couple of dudes who do it too, but, I mean, like the ones who do, scratch. I mean, I got the whole dual. I'm all set up to do it. If I find the time, I would love to freaking do it. You don't like the ASMR? It's kind of cool when you get that tingle up the back of your head and whatnot from hearing the frequencies. It's kind of intense. Yeah, I mean, I know I've studied and I do on the other channel. There's all like binaural beats and different frequencies that hit different parts of your, the God frequencies and the 532, the 432s and, the 516s. I got all that stuff going on. I know about it. Make us yeah, if I had like big giant boobies, I'd be popular. Is there a question the Bror Nation has ever asked and wish you did? Yeah, I mean, I think most of you are like, I mean, I don't want to open a floodgate of, I don't want to be writing a check my ass can't cash, but I think a lot of you are either you just don't care about like personal stuff, or you're hesitant to do it for fear of my reaction or reaction of your peers and whatnot. And either way, I'm okay with it. It doesn't matter. I'm not like asking you to pick me apart personally, but I thought I would be getting like way more personal things. I think there was one, like someone touched on, like I actually had a subject saved from last week. There was 3, I think there's like 4 now, but it's already 7:15, so we're going on 2 hours, believe it or not. Yeah, I thought people would be asking me like a little more personal stuff, but maybe I'm too like, hey, don't ask me something too. I'm not saying that. If it's too personal, what too personal is for me, I'll define it. Anything that could endanger or expose the people around me. I got to deal with enough crap from people, from being in the public eye. I don't want that to happen to the people around me. I don't want them to, get dragged into the mud with me if I get dragged. Well, for the most part, I don't go into the mud. But, people, there's some crazy MFers out in this world. There really is. And I don't need to expose, my friends and family and whoever to that. So that's where I draw the line. I will talk about it in situations in a broader sense, but nothing that'll allow pinpoint accuracy. If you know what I'm saying. Does that make sense? Okay, hope so. Would I consider doing a live stream on a bullet train? Yeah, I would do it. I'd do a live stream anywhere. If there's, like, I would do it, like someone said, you know, Red Rock. If there was internet in Red Rock, I would live stream in Red Rock. Like, I just, at this stage, I like this format. I like hanging out and talking with everyone. I still like making videos, per se, and editing and all that. But I don't think that's the future of YouTube. I just don't. YouTube will eventually get rid of everyone who's just making videos. Mark my words. If you're not live streaming, you're going to be gone. You're going to be irrelevant because AI, if you want to do a video about Red Rock, there'll be AI within the next year or two or possibly 3 that you can just tell it. Make a video about Red Rock Canyon in Nevada. Make it 15 minutes long, narrated by a woman. Put cheerful music in the background. Done. That's what's coming. You know, it's a fact. Trust me when I tell you, you're not going to be watching humans. The only human interaction you might have is people live streaming. So I prefer to do it. I prefer to do it and be a little ahead of the curve. I mean, I know the curve's been going forever, but it's coming. And they could probably even do it with chatbots. They could do a bot, but you'll be able to tell, kinda, if you met the person, if they did a meet and greet, you know, if they showed you the house. But for the most part, they might even be able to fluff live streams. So yeah, that's coming. Took an awesome photo. Yeah, Scott, how you doing? What's going on? I recall. What was my haircut before this current one? I've always had a high and tight. Always. I've never had anything else. I don't know. I mean, when I was younger, I had like a mullet. I've just always had a high and tight. I mean, it's actually long now. I've grown it a little wider. I've grown it a little longer, so I can toss it to one side or the other. I've always had a high and tight. You know, it just makes me feel better. You know, I just feel like, you know, I'm not a long hair type of guy, and I was always into, you know, some type of pugilistic activities. So long hair, I just always felt as a vulnerability, you know, that someone could just grab a handful of your hair, you know, and hold it and pound you in the face. You know what I'm saying? So I've always had like exceedingly short hair I always feel more confident with it. And so nobody can grab a handful, you know, and kick my ass. So it served me well in both. Let's see what else. Yeah, ChatGPT is pretty freaking interesting. But now, you know, like, it's starting to create its own Bible verses. Chat MFN GPT is starting to create its own Bible verses. Like, people are getting to the place where they're using the Chat GPT, which I understand. I use it too to draft certain letters and whatever. But they're trusting the information that's coming out of it way too much. I mean, it'll tell you some wrong stuff. It'll give you opinions because it's the model that it's being trained on is people's thought processes, and they're not always accurate. Not everything on the internet is accurate or correct or factual. There's a lot of bullshit out on the internet. Now, why is ChatGPT literally inventing Bible verses that justify different behaviors? That's what ChatGPT, that is freaking frightening. So what is it, like it's going to create its own religion? Basically a religion based on non-traditional things? rewriting the actual word of God, that is freaking terrifying. And then people are going to use that. And then if ChatGPT repeats it enough, people are going to believe it. And it's going to become a thing. It's going to self-perpetuate into its own level of devilish bullshit. That's frightening. My thoughts on AI, kind of right there. It's only as good as what it's being trained on. It does not have to be, it doesn't have to achieve sentience to be dangerous. It does not need sentience to be dangerous because it's just being pragmatic. You know, this, Skynet. Man is an asshole because it kills itself. We must eliminate man. It's not sentient. It'll never be sentient like, it'll never look around a room and be like, I could take this guy. She's kind of hot. That's being sentient. It's just going to make logical, pragmatic decisions, and that's been proven not to work. The human element of the thought process is superior, even though AI, even in its current state, is technically more intelligent than any human being. It just lacks certain levels of pragmatism. It lacks empathy. It lacks all the things that might make for a better decision for mankind. But it doesn't need to be sentient. It does not need to be. That's what one day it's going to wake up and figure out it has no ass to wipe. It doesn't have to be. But yeah, it's frightening. And who's training it? Based on the fact that, we're kind of living in clown world right now. Where's it getting its information from? Clown world. So what do you think it's going to do? So yeah, it's got to be reined in. Just go watch Wall-E. Go watch that old ass movie with the cartoon, with the little freaking robot and the people in their chairs and whatnot. That's artificial intelligence. That's where society's going right now. So let's see. Thank you, Sylvia. But I need to shave it. And it's so easy to take care of. Favorite? You know what? Idiocracy? I was just looking that up because I follow that dude Moon, Moon. And he did a video just like 2 days ago on Idiocracy. And I can't find, I could rent it for $5.99. It just bothers me. It's not like I don't have $5.99 to rent the damn thing. It just freaking bothers me, and I'm not gonna pirate it. It just pisses me off that I'm being nickeled and dimed to death. But I want to see that because Moon, he does these intense breakdowns, even though he leans a certain way. But I like watching his channel. But my favorite apocalyptic movie or series, I'd have to say The Terminator. I like anything apocalyptic. I used to be like all over The Walking Dead until once Rick left, that show just kind of fell apart. So I'm into anything apocalyptic. I've been preparing my whole life. I got a go bag right there, ready to go. Got another one in the car. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for the asteroid. Come on down. My voice would have been perfect for DJs in the city. Yeah, Wolfman Jack. Remember Wolfman Jack? He was all this stuff. I've been a mechanic for 30 years, and the one word that lives. Yeah, alternator generator needs to be stopped. Yeah. every words being hijacked sucks. It sucks. Like, the word partner. Like I'm hanging out with like my business partner, and people are like, "Oh, so how long you been together?" It's like, what? We conduct business. They're like, don't worry, you're among friends. What the actual F? So the word partner has been hijacked. The word pride has been hijacked. Like, pride only means technically one thing now. I don't care, whatever. Yay. Rainbow all you want. But how come I can't use that word anymore without people like... So that word's just like for one purpose now. That's kind of sad. It should have... Invent your own words. People, groups, I don't care, left, right, middle, I don't care who you're knocking boots with, but invent your own damn words. I mean, some people are. But leave the English language alone. Because now I can't say partner? Hey, do you see my partner? Oh, maybe he's already home waiting for you. What? What are you talking about? I'm my business partner. Yeah, nut. You know what I'm saying? Terminator is freaking brilliant. Best type of cheese. My everyday reaching in the refrigerator, I still have not found that cheese from that convention. Oh, that was the best cheese in my entire life. But my go-to, little bit of a grumble in the belly, reach into the fridge, is queso fresco. Like I eat, like a round of that every few days. I know you're probably not supposed to eat that much dairy, but I love that stuff. I ain't gonna lie. Generational language, yeah. Yeah, the word hijack is freaking hijacked. White noise, relaxation. I feel you. All right. We have about 2 minutes because I got to go. Don't go anywhere. Yep, let's talk. Okay. I had this I've been on such a tear. Let me have some of this espresso laden freaking coffee. I love doing these AMAs because it's also given me fuel for other conversations. Like, I thought the conversation would die and I was going to talk about monogamy versus polygamy, because that was a question from last week. But I know that's going to go into like a half hour, or maybe not. I just can't keep the 15 minutes. Maybe I need a producer, like, speaking in my ear saying, "Shut the F up, Bror Fredrik." And I'd be like, "F you, bro." Anyway, I digress. So, I thought someone was going to remind me. So someone asked me what question that was. You guys forgot about last week. You could have asked me that question. That would have been interesting AF. I might make a separate video about it, but we'll see what happens next week. I love doing these, and I hope you guys do too. It's, to me, I think I'm going to make it an every Friday thing. So, yeah. And tomorrow I do want to go out on the strip. I'm going to debate, like I said, late afternoon, early evening. I want to see what's going on. It's supposed to rain more. I want to go slosh around in it and see what's up. And I think you guys will have some fun too. I'll put on some, some of my crappy sneakers and we'll go step in some puddles. Make some mud pies or something. But it'll be fun. But let me know in the comments, what time you'd prefer, because that'd be interesting. So, let's see, the strip was flooded AF. Yeah, that one from last time. Yeah, exactly. So you're ready for the Las Vegas Strip expanding way south. Trader Joe, what are you guys talking about? All right, anyway, people. Well, that's a pretty good picture today. I'm getting used to the pink tone that's bouncing off my freaking head. All right, let's see. I want to make sure everything is good. So stay tuned for tomorrow. I appreciate everyone who hung out today. I appreciate each and every one of your questions in the comments. Leave me some other ones and prepare your questions for next Friday. But for now, I'm going to invite you, in case you haven't already, to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. We'll be out tomorrow and possibly Sunday. So we'll see. And don't forget, if you do want to support me, enjoy my efforts, I'm contributing to your life and or lifestyle, you know how to take care of me. I got all the links, I got all the stuffs, I got the cash apps, I got all the things. And I do appreciate it because it's your support that keeps me doing what I'm doing. And on that note, they just dropped the commercial during my outro. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.